What's up, guys? This is LTX here, or LTX, and today I'm going to be bringing you race 7 of the NR2003 2018 season. Drivers will take on Dover for 60 laps. I'm going to go straight through the starting lineup here for the command. I think it should be a pretty good race because I did some testing here and played around with the track physics, and I think it'll be a pretty good one. There's 39 cars, not sure which one DNQ'd, but starting dead last is the 92 of David Gilliland. We have the 72 of Cole Witt, 96 of DJ Kennington, 75 of Casey Mears, 33 of Jeffrey Earnhardt, 62 of Brennan Gaughan, 52 of Cody Ware, 32 of Matt DiBenedetto, 51 of Timmy Hill, the 6 of Trevor Bayne, the 38 of David Reagan, the 13 of Ty Dillon, the 43 of Bubba Wallace, 34 of Michael McDowell, 95 of Casey Kane, the 1 of Jamie McMurray, 19 of Daniel Suarez, the 3 of Austin Dillon, 47 of AJ Allmendinger, the 21 of Paul Menard, the 24 of William Byron, then his teammate, the 88 of Alex Bowman, 37 Chris Buescher, 12 of Ryan Blaney, 17 of Ricky Stenhouse Jr., 31 of Ryan Newman, and the 9 of Chase Elliott. And here's basically all of Stuart Haas and Gibbs, Clint Boyer, Eric Jones, Eric Almirola, Kevin Harvick, Dennis Hamlin, Kurt Busch, Brad Keselowski, Kyle Busch, Joey Logano, Jimmy Johnson, and then on the outside pole is Kyle Larson, and starting on pole today is Martin Truex Jr. As we go through our one pace lap, I'll talk a little bit about the top 5 here. Truex and Larson have consistently started near the front, and usually they're able to keep their way at the front. They seem to have a lot of speed this season. However, the row behind them is what I'm concerned about. Jimmy Johnson and Joey Logano. Jimmy Johnson in particular. Logano qualifies decent. 48 usually doesn't qualify well. But the trend is when either of these two seem to qualify towards the front, early on in the race, they can't hold on to it and usually fall back, sometimes outside of even the top 10. So it'll be interesting to see if they can hold it up there. And they've got a lot of fast cars behind them. They've got Kyle Busch behind them. He's fast. Kurt Busch has been very fast this season, just no luck. And then, of course, Kevin Harvick, only driver with more than one win this season, currently 6th in points after a tragic finish to last week's race. And then Eric Almirola, most consistent driver of the season. So a lot of big names behind this second row here that I'd be concerned about if I were them. But for the time being, we're going to have all eyes on Martin Truex Jr. as he leads the field to green. Coming out of 4 towards the restart box. Truex Jr. is on the loud pedal, and we're green. As the cars all make their way out of turn 4, I'm a little bit surprised. It looks like Johnson has stayed right up to the back of Truex Jr. after getting a really good start off to the race. And so has Logano, as we're 3 wide in the back. Keselowski on the high side. It's always dangerous to be out of the groove, especially with the way the track is set up here. I mean, I do see Johnson behind Truex, but I don't expect it to last. Kyle Larson is there, and Kyle Busch, by the way, is coming. Kyle Busch is going to waste no time getting to the front. Not sure what that was. Poor camera angle. Got a shot of all the cars slinging it down into turn 3. A lot of dangerous racing in the back here early on. Being pretty risky. Lots of 3 wide moves, aggression we see. Cars trying to gain as much as they can while the tires are fresh, because tire wear is a pretty huge factor here. As we see, lap times should be falling off soon. These guys are running their fastest laps of the race, but I can almost guarantee you this one's going to be... Okay, it was a little bit slower for Truex. Never mind. Well, I guess tire wear is not as bad as I thought it would be initially. But if we look at the fastest laps, look at the top 2 in the field. They are the bottom 2 in terms of fastest lap. And the names that I mentioned, actually only one of them really, Harvick, second fastest lap up to this point. Kyle Busch with the quickest lap, and there he is in fourth place, currently all over the back of Kyle Larson, trying to make that pass. As we look further down, 48 falls to 11th, 78 falls to 10th. So, I mean, fastest lap isn't everything, but it does show Kyle Busch's fastest lap is over a 10th quicker than either of these guys. He's right there, and Logano's not much slower, and it looks like he might have gotten the 18 a little bit loose, and he's going to get to the inside of the 18, but the outside is preferred unless you enter it like Kurt Busch just did. Lose a lot of ground. Kyle Larson now to the back of the 48, 18 to the back of the 42. They're going to try and battle that spot out. Truex is beginning to build up a little bit of a gap on the field now. See a flyby, see if anyone hits the wall. So far things seem pretty tame. I say tame, but cars are jockeying all over the track for position. There goes Larson to the inside of Johnson, trying to take away that spot. Johnson's going to have the outside here and should gain the advantage, and it looks like he might be able to take Kyle Busch with him. He will, and Kyle Busch might actually be able to complete the pass on Larson here. I'm not sure. Kyle did not get through the corner the way he needed to there. That little bit of racing is going to allow the 48 to get away, and more importantly, allow Truex to further extend his gap to the cars behind him. We're starting to see some of that Stewart-Haas rise to the front, and by that I mean Kevin Harvick slowly picking his way through the field, trying to move to the front. Kyle Busch now around Kyle Larson, working on Jimmy Johnson for the second place, as Truex continues to stretch out his lead. And now we're starting to see that tire wear I was talking about. 11 laps in, and the drivers are roughly half a second off their quickest times. So tire wear, big factor here. Now they're down to over a half a second. Everybody's running about a 22 flat at the front. So although names like Kurt Busch, Kevin Harvick, and Kyle Busch are coming to the front, 48 and 22 have surprised me, being able to hold their own up at the front. Although it does seem like their pace has fallen off a little bit as Kyle Busch is able to get to the inside of Johnson as I speak and probably take away the second spot. Ooh, he has to check up big time there. I'm not even sure if it was aero loose or if he just hit the corner wrong, but he checks up big time. And just as it looked like he was about to break out and go after the 78, 42's back on Kyle Busch. And the whole battle breaks wide open once again. It's a tricky racetrack. Lap traffic not in the foreseeable future. We're going to fly by with the field. Truex with a pretty decent lead already. So lots of scrambled battling throughout the field. On a single file, too. Guy's not taking it too hard. Kyle Busch to the inside of Jimmy Johnson. This is a pivotal point of the race if Kyle Busch can make the pass, but I'm doubtful with him being on the inside. It doesn't look like he'll be able to. He's going to have to get a better runoff than Johnson, both of them using the high side, and somehow get by him, because it's really hard to pass here. Because usually the guy you're trying to pass is going to take the outside and defend it, and it's almost impossible. It can be very frustrating on drivers. Truex Jr. now to a 1 second lead on the field. As the rest of the top 10 seems to be stuck behind the 48. And that's why passing is so difficult. Even if you know the guy in front of you is slower, there's only so much you can do. It looks like Kyle Busch is doing everything he can. He's all over the back of the 48. He knows if he can get by him, he can have a crack at the lead. Looks like he's going to get the 48 up out of his lane, but he has to check up off the corner, and he can't do anything with it. It's a little bit too early to be getting impatient, though. We could have a caution. There are still green flag pit stops that will occur if we keep up being green. Just have to be patient. Although I don't blame Kyle Busch for wanting to get by. It looks like he's going to get to the quarter panel of the 48, get the 48 up out of the group, and he's got to check up. He can't hold it down there. Although it looks like here he might be closer. He fakes out the 48. Actually, Johnson's coming onto pit road right now. It looks like those green flag pit stops have begun as the paces slow down about over a second and a half, actually. For those guys, second and a half for Truex a second and a half. During that time, all that battling, Truex was able to pull out to a big 1.7 second lead. And for the races we've been having so far, that's pretty huge. Truex coming to pit road right now. If the race were to finish with him in the lead, then it would give him the points lead. See some guys staying out there. Points leader is currently Ryan Blaney by a mere 6 points over Truex. So where they run there, you can see Truex down there at the bottom, Blaney up at the top. By the way, I think the 48 might come out with the lead. And those guys... Oh, we have a caution, actually. Oh, it's a little bit of a wreck between the 62 and the 52. They're already back on pit road. And this is a major turn of events. I was going to say the 48 would be the beneficiary because when you're the only car on pit road, you spend less time and you're able to get through pit road quicker and gain a lot of time. But he actually might be in trouble here. He and perhaps the rest of the field, actually. Because remember, there was a pocket of cars that did not pit. It was these three right here. These three did not pit. These are the top three. This is very interesting. The whole field, yeah, the majority of the field here is a lap down. And I feel like, I'm not sure why they're pitting. We're going to go see a replay of the wreck and show you that, and we'll have all the scoring updated by then. Back if we look at the replay here, pretty obvious what happens. See the 62 over on this side of the screen. Everybody's getting woed up coming onto pit road. 52 does not make good judgment. 62 should be on the apron by now, but the 52 misjudges this just slightly. Runs right into the back of him. Significant damage. 75, 96, and I believe the 92 gets involved. 62 gets air. Brendan Gaughan over on his side. Kennington gets a little bit of nose damage. Basically everybody in the picture but Cole Witt gets a little piece of it. Now if we watch it at speed, it was actually a pretty hard impact. Ouch. That's a killer for some of these guys, but that'll definitely shake up the points towards the bottom of the field. Cole Witt being a 39th in points should maybe gain some on all these guys. We'll be back for the restart. Alright, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. As it appears, the whole field is screwed. Everybody fifth on back is basically a lap down. And if we go up here, all the way back here, the 4 cars actually on the lead lap are all the way in the back. So I'm not entirely sure how this all came to be, but your top 5 is Paul Menard, Bubba Wallace, David Reagan, and Ryan Newman, and then Martin Truex Jr. So I'm not sure if I should watch up here or watch back there, because this is where all the guys that are actually running top 10 are, and back there are all the guys that hold the pit strategy. I guess we'll just watch this. No, I gotta watch up there, simply because we could have a wreck with lap cars on the bottom, and that could be catastrophic for those guys in the back. Well, it'll be Truex and Bain leading them to the green, but the leaders are all in the back. Go spectator camera for this one so we can capture a lot. And as it stands right now, all these guys up here in this front pack don't really have a lot to worry about in terms of getting lapped, since the leaders are in the very back of the pack and there's a lot of cars separating them. If I were the likes of Casey Kane, Brad Keselowski, those guys in the back, currently 25th on back, they're right in front of the leaders. And that's never, it's never comfortable. So I would be saying Martin Truex Jr. to the lead. However, the true leader of this race, ooh, they're in trouble back here. Who's the leader? Currently the leader is the 43 of Darrell Wallace Jr. 72 into the outside wall. Looks like the 43 is able to break 3 and he'll be able to gap the guys behind him. Interesting. Very odd to see the leader of the race in the back of the field. I mean, I guess you could say it makes a lot of the battling up here pointless. Not entirely, but they're going to need a caution if they want things to work out for them or correct themselves. 43 being very risky here. No need to take any risk. They've got the lead by a lap. I mean, not the lead, a top 5 by a lap. Although they want the win, so I guess I can see it. 32 hard into the outside wall there. 3 wide mess right here. This could be catastrophic. Bowman up out of the groove. Does not hit the wall. And now guys are actually starting to go laps down. It looks like the 9 gave the 43 a shot. I'm not sure if he wants to be lapped. But 43 Bubba Wallace actually putting some cars lap down as we have a wreck right in front of me. Casey Kane is involved. Doesn't look to be too significant. Ty Dillon got a piece of it. Was deleting that message at the bottom of the screen, so I did not catch it. But that's going to be the caution that all these guys here needed, so the field can get sorted out and they can have a chance to go at the lead again. So that came relatively quick. They got lucky. We're going to go take a look at what happened to bring out the second caution of the day. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I did mention that Bowman kept out of the wall, but that wasn't his problem. It looks like his problem stemmed back with the 3-car of Austin Dillon getting a great run off and misjudging it, goes right into the left rear. Hard hits for the 3 and the 95. I think Ty Dillon might have just gone for a slide. And great job by everybody to miss the wreck and not make that worse than it needed to be. Here now we'll look at it in full time. '13 got very lucky there that it was just a spin. I don't believe he suffered any major damage. Neither did the 88. 88's going to have some left front. 13 should get away cleanest. Dillon, however, was a pretty hard knock to the inside wall there. Kane's going to have the worst damage out of it, but it all should be decently repairable. They'll be in the race still. Just definitely off the pace. We'll come back with the restart in just a moment. Okay, welcome back. It's still busted. I'm not sure why. 43 is still the leader. And these guys back here, I guess, 1st through 14th are in the back now, apparently. And now the battle for the lead is back into the hands of Truex and Busch. But now they have Menard and Bubba in front of them. And then the rest of the field. So we'll just go here and watch the shit show play out, because I'm not sure what's going on. I am a little confused as to what the situation is here. It does mean everybody 15th on back is in danger of being lapped if the top 14 are at the back of the field, basically a lap ahead. It's very interesting here as we go green. Remember, the 43 is the leader. He moves up to the high side quickly to clear the traffic. Looks like that's going to work out very nicely for him. 3 wide mess in front of him, a combination of damaged cars, and oh, the field's getting backed up. Look out. That creates a mess. I don't know who the leader is. Looks like the 78 and the 43 are sneaking around the outside, getting around all of that. They're going to clear a lot of lap traffic early on up in this run. And wow, 43 is completely blocked in. Everybody here is just completely blocked in. They can't go anywhere. This is our race for the lead, guys. Very dicey, though, all around the leader. 43 with an extremely aggressive move to the middle to try and get clear of the lap traffic. Looks like it's going to pay off for him, and he's going to leave everybody in the dust. Great move by the 43 of Darrell Wallace Jr. to clear the lap traffic as chaos ensues behind him. 21 of Menard is next to break free. Kyle Busch following suit behind him. I'm surprised they've held it together for this long, to be honest. So Darrell Wallace Jr., the beneficiary out of that one. Currently running 28th in points. This is something that they really need. They have not had, this season has not gone to plan for them at all so far. Kyle Busch got stuck a little bit further back. Field behind them still jockeying for position. Truex really got swallowed up. Fell all the way back to 10. Still struggling to get through the lap traffic. 3 wide with Boyer, Johnson, and DiBenedetto. All these guys working to get around the slower cars. As of right now, it's the 21. Paul Menard has caught the 43 again. Paul Menard back to the bumper of Darrell Wallace Jr. Paul Menard just outside the cut line. He's 17th, actually tied with Chris Buescher. I believe that, I'm not sure what the tiebreaker is on that, but he and Chris Buescher are tied for the last spot in the playoffs. So currently, early on, this could really help him. He gets to the inside of the 43, maybe a little bit of a contact there. I'm not sure, but it's getting down to that part of the race. 18 to go. He's going to move to the inside, and now it's a game of which lap car is slower. Inside lane naturally being slower. Advantage 43. Looks like for now he'll be able to retain the lead, as now he has a clear road in front of him as the 21 makes it 3 wide. They're going to split the lap car while racing for the lead. And don't look now, but here comes Kyle Larson to shake things up. Bubba's going to get stuck on the outside behind another lap car. It looks like Paul Menard's going to go to the lead now. Right now it's a game of navigating lap traffic, and Paul Menard is playing the game much better at this point in time. Gets shoved up a little high, although Chase Elliott's a lap car. Chase Elliott still has a fast car. Seems like they might have some damage, though. Not sure, they're off pace, actually. I was wrong. So Bubba Wallace Jr., Darrell Wallace Jr., or Bubba, falls back to third. Comfortable cushion over the next car back, the 47 of AJ Allmendinger. And now it's Kyle Larson working on lapping Chase Elliott. And see if he can go take a crack at the 21. Menard has wasted 0 time since he took the lead, trying to get through these guys as fast as possible, because he knows Larson has an incredibly fast car, and he knows if he wants to have a shot at winning this thing, he's got to get moving. Currently, he's stuck behind William Byron. And this is where passing is so difficult. He's going to get a nose under the 24 here. Doesn't have to let off. He's able to hold the pedal all the way out of the corner, and he might be able to complete the pass here. Byron slides up in the corner. This is huge. Chase Elliott is there. I heard tires squealing. I was wrong. Paul Menard up on the high side. He's going to have to get by Chase Elliott right now, because Larson is there, and he does. Paul Menard will live for another day and lead for another lap, as Larson now has to work his way around Chase Elliott. And as fast as he can, Menard needs to go past Ty Dillon. Go away. I'm busy recording this. Sorry, I love all of you in that call. Menard making quick work of the 13 of Dillon, doing everything in his power to get around these guys as fast as possible. That was close. Larson almost got taken out by the merging 52 car. As Larson's going to take the lap traffic 3 wide, hit 2 birds with 1 stone. And just like that, Paul Menard has a mirror full of credit 1 once again. Not exactly a mirror full, actually. Larson's still working on Chase Elliott, but you get the picture. Menard's able to pull away. A little bit of easier lap traffic now. These are guys you'd expect to be lapped. He's got Cole Witt in front of him. Larson still working on Chase Elliott. Elliott not making it easy for Larson at all. The 42 was the points leader not long ago. Only 3 races ago he was leading points. He's down to 14th after a couple of turns of poor luck and not closing out some finishes. And here they come down pit road now. This guy's very riskily going to get woed up. 48, 34, 31, all getting around these guys going on to pit road, wasting no time trying to gain as much as they can. As the final set of green flag stops have begun. Some cars choosing to stay out. The 11 has not pit yet. Chase Elliott not yet. Harvick looks like he is not pit yet. So yes, these guys are all important, but what we're we're going to need to see is the battle with the 42 off of pit road with Paul Menard. Menard should be out of his stall already. Oh boy, I'm not sure what happened, but oh, they only took right sides, it looks like. And Menard's going to beat Larson off. Bane's going to beat Larson off. And Larson might get passed by Suarez too. That's huge for Paul Menard. That is incredibly important for Menard, that he gets out that far ahead of Kyle Larson. He's going to have to fight for it still, but as of right now, 9 laps to go for Paul Menard. Not exactly sure where he'll cycle out. Apparently, we still need one more car to pit. There he is. There's Hamlin. And Paul Menard will be passing him this time. There he goes by. And there's Larson in the 3rd position. It looks like he actually might get caught behind Hamlin. This changes everything about this race. Paul Menard now has Denny Hamlin on the freshest tires in the field behind him. Hamlin's got to go, though. It is go time. Paul Menard using pit strategy to his advantage, picking through lap cars the best. And it's not like he has a very bad car either. He's still a pretty good driver, and he's got a handy piece of equipment there. He's using it to its absolute fullest, driving the race of his life here to try and clinch his spot in the playoffs early on. Hamlin has almost a 2-second gap to make up. Looks like Larson has no intentions of giving him the opportunity. He's going to force his way down the inside. No more time for patience. He's got to go. He'll be even off the corner, and he should get him here. 5 more to go. Hamlin's not letting him Larson by. And this is everything Paul Menard wants to be hearing, as he's putting more and more cars between him and the 42. Victory seems inevitable. Gets a little loose in the corner there. Gets split by the 17-2 going by. A little bit of a shaky moment. They gained on him big time there. He got shooken up there. Maybe I jinxed him. 5 laps to go. They've got to gain 3/10 a lap if they want to catch him. Paul Menard has been the king of lap traffic all race. However, it looks like up to this point, now he's struggling. He's losing chunks of time to the guys behind him, but they're going to have to be quicker if they want to catch him. 4 to go. Could Menard bring the next driver to bring the Wood brothers back to victory lane? No battle between the 11 and 43. Bubba Wallace still running in 4th comfortably. Logano passed Johnson just now for the 5th spot. Good run for Ryan Newman. 43 and 11, or 42 and 11, both struggling to get around Cole Witt. That's going to help him. We've got a wreck up here. Paul Menard's involved. It looks like he's going to get by clean, though. Casey Kane involved in his 2nd accident of the day. As Johnson and Suarez pile in, that's a huge accident. 48's up on his lid and more pile in. And the race is going to end with a bang. Cars on their lids, damaged cars everywhere. Huge plot twist to end that one. Lots of guys up in the top 5. That's going to shake up the results drastically. But that's going to end Paul Menard's nightmare. And it looks like it's going to give him the win. He already seemed to have it locked up, but there was still shady stuff going on. And he probably he made contact with the car, or the spinning 95 car of Casey Kane. So Paul Menard will come around to win this race unless something tragic happens. But that is going to be a major shakeup in the point standings. As I look at it here, I'm not sure if Ryan Blaney was involved, or I don't know, looks like standings should still get shaken up because Truex did not finish very well. Oh, he retired. That is huge. And Denny Hamlin finishing 2nd. Hamlin could be propelled to the points lead or close following this race. I'm not sure. We'll have to wait and find out. But Paul Menard played the underdog of the race here, and he's going to come off of turn 4 under the caution and get his first win of the season. 17th in points currently, tied with Chris Buescher. It matters no more. He's going to have a huge payday for points, plus 45 on the scoreboard, plus 1 in the win column. As they cross the line, Paul Menard is locked into the chase. Hamlin, Larson, I believe the 43 gets a top 5. Joey Logano finishes 5th. And what remains at the field after that large pileup at the end will roll across the line. And we're going to go take a look at exactly what happened in just a moment. Here we are with the replay, and unfortunately, it's Casey Kane, already multiple laps down, day not going to plan at all, blindly merges back up, makes contact with the 2-car, around he goes right in front of the leader, Paul Menard. Paul Menard make contact, and here's the heavy hitter. Logano runs right, or not Logano, Suarez runs right into him. Johnson gets hit by Newman. On his lid he goes, Suarez upside down, and guys just keep piling in from here. Big wreck to end the race. Here we can get you a better angle of the initial contact. See, Kane comes up here, makes contact with the 2 of Keselowski. And here he's on the brakes. He's nothing else he can do besides hold the brakes. Right here he tries to get it rolling again, and Suarez piles right into him. 48, 13, 47 all taken out. Interested to see what happened to Truex. Apparently the 78 retired. And I am confused as to why. Down here on the apron like he's got a problem. Oh, it looks like a shifter issue. You can see it up here. Does he ever park it and just stop? I don't know, it's the 78. Yeah, he does retire eventually. So I guess now we're going to go to the final results. Huge shakeup at the end there. Paul Menard, Paul Menard picking up his first win of the season. Denny Hamlin second, Kyle Larson third. 43 of Darrell Wallace Jr. Good top 5 for him. 4th, Joey Logano 5th. Kevin Harvick found a way and got 6th. Mick Murray 7th. Points leader Ryan Blaney 8th. 9th place is Eric Almirola. That'll be his 5th top 10 finish of the season. And then in 10th place is Clint Bowyer. And we've got Jones, Stenhouse, Buescher, Timmy Hill, 14th, a lap down, but that's the kind of stuff they need right there to keep them in the fight. Cole Witt, 15th, Martin Truex Jr., 16th. Interesting. They retired, but it looks like they'll be able to make something out of it. Get a little bit of points. Keselowski, Don, Bowman, Benedetto, Byron, Kyle Busch, Michael McDowell. Kurt Busch's season of hell continues, although he was able to pick up the win. They don't. No one likes finishing back here. Newman, Allmendinger, Reagan, Johnson, and I know that the 19 and the 48 they could smell it. They were right there, or they were not the 19, or the 48, the 38, 47, 31. All those guys were right there, about to get a great finish, and pow, right at the end. They could have had worse days, though. Chase Elliott, 29th, for example. Austin Dillon, 30th. Cody Ward, 31st. There goes Bain, Gilliland, Kennington, Ty Dillon, Daniel Suarez, Jeffrey Earnhardt. Casey Kane ends up 38th. And Casey Mears will finish dead last in the field after not exactly a desirable day at the office. So that's all I have for round 7 at Dover. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.